All right, kids, driving into In-N-Out. There's a Chick-fil-A right across the parking lot. Here's the In-N-Out. I know this is what you all care about on my videos, apparently, is burgers. There's a dude waiting to take my order. It's like 12 o'clock noon. And, yep, here we go. So I just placed the order. And unlike the other, this is a different one. This is the In-N-Out that I like to go to my house, by my house. And this is my favorite In-N-Out. It only has 2 sides, not 4, that the parking lot goes. So I only have about, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 7 cars in front of me, instead of like 20 when I went to that one time. So should be all good. I got a late start today. Like I said, it's what is that? 12:19. So I got my books. Oh man, do I got a pull list for you today? So I'm going to wrap this up, and yeah, I hope we found this exciting. So here's something interesting. As I'm sitting here in the drive-thru, I notice, you know, I'm in and out. Right across the street is a Jack in the Box. Now, I don't know what fool would build a Jack in the Box across the street from In-N-Out Burger, but I noticed something. I don't know if you can see from this video. It's lunchtime. It's noon. There's 1 car in the drive-thru. Yeah. Meanwhile, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars in front of me. I got about 1, 2, 3, 4 cars behind me. So, yeah, you can tell who's doing the business. This is the state of Marvel Comics, right? There's Marvel and DC over there selling their little books and people getting it. And then this is old school, what they should be doing. All right, wrapping up the video. Rolling up the windows. Dang, it's hot. It's one thing I don't miss, or didn't miss, about Southern California. That there's Chick-fil-A. You get the best of both worlds over here. If you don't want a burger for some reason, you're like, I don't eat beef, I just eat the chicken. Well, then you've got the In-N-Out of chickens, which is Chick-fil-A right here. And if you're a vegan, well, then you've got a lumber yard over there. You can eat some wood. Or if you're Eric Breen and you don't like good candy, then you know, wood chips are often a good substitute. He's been known to go to the hardware store and eat wood chips, as he said from Twitter. All right, so I'm gonna wrap this up now and get back to the comics. 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everyone? You're watching Ash on Comics. My name is Ash, and you know what time it is? That's right, it's Ash Wednesdays. Number 2, legacy number 33. It is today, Wednesday, August 7th, 2019. And joining me as always, we have Stan the Man, and also his assistant and trusty sidekick mascot to the channel, Forky, who's always here to bring joy and happiness. We love Forky. Forky loves you. Don't forget that. Always got a big drink. Talking like this just makes your mouth dry. What do we got in store today? Well, as usual, we got a bunch of Marvel number 1s, because a week can't go by without number 1s. Well, that's not entirely true. There was 1 week earlier this year, 1 week, where Marvel didn't have a number 1. Ironically, that was the week I started buying Marvel Comics. But of course they couldn't keep that up. It's number 1, number 1, number 1, over and over. They got to keep you buying books. They understand that you only like number 1s. That's why Absolute Carnage came out today, and it's $7.99. Because they know it's a number 1. You're going to buy a shit ton. Everyone's going to buy the number 1 because, oh, number 1s. This one's going to sell twice as much as all the other copies, and they're going to charge you twice as much for the book, so that quadruples essentially their sales. Actually, more than quadruples their sales because they only have to do the production costs once. Also this week, Agents of Atlas, the spin-off book of the entirely racist tie-in to War of the Realms, which already doesn't matter. You can pay $4.99 to get this, number 1. Future Foundation is back. Aren't you excited? Yeah, because Jonathan Hickman, remember he did Future Foundation? It wasn't enough to hold my interest. I read the first 5 issues and I was just, okay. So I'm sure some scrub person can take over and no, but it's a number 1. It's only $3.99 for number 1. There you go. Jonathan Hickman's Future Foundation's not worth shit, so why should this one be worth anything? It's a number 1 though, right? Sensational Spider-Man. There's a new Spider-Man book. Last I checked, I was talking to, I think it was Eric Breen, we were talking on Discord, and we were trying to come up with a list of all the Spider-Man books. And or Spider-Man related, books. Like Superior Spider-Man's not actually Spider-Man, but it's called Spider-Man, so it counts as a Spider-Man book. You know what I'm saying? So we counted all the Spider-Man books that Marvel was producing or was about to release within the month, and there were 14 books, 14 Spider-Man books, and this was not one of. I don't know where this came from. Sensational Spider-Man Self-Improvement, $4.99. Get your Spider-Mans here. Get them while they're hot. All right. So today in topics, we've got blackpilling. So I don't have a lot to talk about this week. I spent some time off of Twitter and away from online. But what I have seen people talking about, and it's really kind of bothering me, this has been bothering me for a while, is the concept of blackpilling, which, if you're not familiar with what that is, comes from the whole Matrix terminology that's really used today to reference the idea of waking up. There's the blue pill and the red pill, right? If you take the red pill, it's like red pilling someone is like waking them up to the truth. So you could say they got red pilled, or my red pill moment was this, that you woken up. Blue pill means that you're just being a sheep, you're sleeping through, you don't care. So that's been around since, it's like for 20 years now, since the Matrix. It's been a big part of our just our lexicon. Blackpilling is a term that's kind of spun off from this, where blackpilling is, the truth, but you're just so resentful and spiteful that you just want to see it burn down. Blackpilling is like, from Christopher Nolan, when Dark Knight and Alfred says, some men just want to see the world burn. Blackpilling is kind of like that. Blackpilling is what you're seeing in modern day Comicsgate. No one cares about comics. They just want the industry to burn. They're so spiteful. They're mad that their comics aren't what they like. And so instead of trying for positive, constructive approaches, they just want to destroy the industry. They want to tell you and convince you how shitty the comics are and that you shouldn't buy them. And they work to promote that. And it's really disheartening because there's people on Twitter that I've been following for a couple of years now. And I'll see them, and it's like, these are people, one of them was a dealer. He actually dealt in comics. He was a big proponent of helping LCSs, helping, consumers find comics that they were interested in, these type of things. And now he's just on Twitter talking about, he's not literally saying industry burn, but he's just promoting not being into comics. He's like telling the smartest thing for LCSs to do is get out of the business. Well, I guess that's maybe true from a business standpoint, but it's really, you're telling people to get out of the industry, telling people to stop buying comics. You have every right to do so. But it's really disheartening when I see it coming from the people who used to be the original idea of Comicsgate, the idea of trying to save this industry, being about something we loved, fighting for something we loved. And now it's just, fuck it. Screw it all. Burn it all. Never mind that not everyone feels like you, right? And you can say, well, Ash, you talk shit about comics all the time. Look, you just dog Marvel for their number ones and everything. That is true. I am not saying the industry is above criticism, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't be angry at the state of the industry. And I'm not saying that you should never promote for people not to buy certain comics. But when you cross a certain line and basically go from, for example, I tell people, don't buy Bendis. Just don't. If anything, whatever Bendis does, don't buy it. He's ruining DC Comics. And if you are out there buying some of his books, even a couple, you're like, well, this book's okay. Well, you know what? You're part to the blame. You can't complain that Bendis is ruining DC Comics and all this stuff if you are buying the books. But at the same time, I have I've been a big proponent of the hashtag Read Hawkman. Hawkman is one of the best comics ongoing. Robert Venditti's knocking it out of the park. And I'm like, buy this. My belief is buy the stuff that's good. Support the good things. And withdraw your support from the negative, the bad things. This is how industries see what works and what doesn't. When they do something bad and it causes people to, withdraw their money and support, then they go, oh, okay, we noticed that. And then when they do something good, it's reinforced with positive reinforcement. We give money. Oh, you guys like that? You guys gave us lots of money? We're going to do more of that. That's how business, in general, it's a simplified version of how business works. They respond to the positive, stop doing the negative. But here's the thing. If you are yourself blackpilled, or you're blackpilling other people, you're just like, just withdraw all your support. Well, when DC looks and sees, for example, oh, look, Superman sales are declining, but so are Hawkman sales. So you can't go around and formulate an argument and say, well, we want more Hawkman and you should make more good comics like Hawkman. Well, the fact of the matter is Hawkman's selling below 20,000. It doesn't matter if DC or Superman is selling below 50,000. It's still over double what Hawkman is selling. So they're both failing, but Hawkman's failing worse. Now, scratch this for a second. Imagine if Superman's sales are dropping. It goes from like 55,000 to 45,000, but Hawkman sales go from 18,000, say, to 25,000. Not a big bump, still less than Superman, but the trajectory is upwards. When you look at this from a business perspective, you say, oh, wow, Superman sells better, obviously, but it's on a negative trajectory. Fans are responding negatively. We're losing sales. It's on a downward trend. And if we don't fix this, eventually it's going to be a shit book that doesn't make us any money. Meanwhile, Hawkman is on an upward swing. It's not a huge one. It's not making or breaking DC. But they look at that and they go, fans are responding to this. Do you see what I'm saying? It's very important to support the books that you like. Otherwise, you can do what you want. It's your money. By all means, spend it the way you want. I will never tell you, you need to buy this. Okay, I'll encourage you. If you're a comic book fan, I'm a comic book fan. My channel's about comics, talking to comic book fans. I want you to enjoy comics. I want you to have that same enthusiasm about a great book that I do. And if I think that book is going to do that for you, I'm going to argue that point, and I'm going to probably push it on you. And it doesn't come from stop telling me what to buy, Ash, or it's like, that's not it. It's just me wanting you to like things. I want you to enjoy it. You don't have to listen to me. You can say, okay, thanks for the recommendation, Ash. Hawkman looks stupid. I'm not going to buy it. Okay, well, at least I tried. You can't walk away and be like, wow, I wish someone would have told me about Hawkman. I did, I tell you. And that's, I hope, a part of the reason why you tune into this channel. But if you're going around and just I'm not buying any comic books, that's your prerogative. And if you start going around telling everyone else not to buy comic books, and you start, what are you accomplishing, really? Except being as big of a harm to the industry as anyone else, right? You can't, at this point, you can't point at the industry and be like, look at these dipshits ruining comics. Well, you're just contributing it towards it as well. You're out there promoting to people, don't buy comics. Yeah, but the comics all suck. Well, from your perspective, I can see that point, but number one, that's not true. They don't all suck. right now, there are 2 comics on the shelves coming out that are among the best comics I have ever read in my 30 years plus of being in comics. Okay? They're among the... White Knight, Curse of the White Knight is utterly fantastic, and Last Night on Earth is utterly fantastic. 5-star books in every way, would stand up in any era. They don't all suck. Hawkman doesn't suck. Those are 3 DC books that are great. I think Superman Year One is pretty good. I understand that's not for everyone. Tomasi's doing a really decent job on Detective Comics as an ongoing title. Scott Snyder and James Tynion are doing an excellent tandem cooperative run with Justice League and Justice League Dark. Dan Abnett's pulling his weight over there with Justice League Odyssey, the cosmic one. There is really good stuff. For the Grant Morrison fans, you've got him on doing Green Lantern. It's easy to look at DC and go, man, this sucks, all this trash. Look at what they're doing with Bendis and Superman stuff. And look what Tom King's doing to Batman. That's true. Criticize it all day long. And at Marvel, they've got easily 100 books a month that suck. But Donny Cates is doing something really special with his books. And Chip Zdarsky, somewhere along the lines, was it maybe this year or last year, just reached, something clicked. And he went from being an okay writer into just being like, wow, where'd this come from? Being inspired. So there are things out there, and support it. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to support the good stuff. I want Marvel to succeed. I don't want Marvel to suck. I make fun of Marvel here, and I mock them, but I want Marvel to be great. I miss the Jim Shooter era of Marvel. That was great comics. You could just go and you could pick up a book, and it was good. Anyways, I digress, and I go on way too long about these rants. That's why I only had one topic today. So, real quick, let's cover the YouTubes. What is Ash watching? So here's my history on YouTube. You can see it's got... What am I doing? It's Thinking Critical. Batman Last Night on Earth 2, covered by Zach. I haven't finished this video. I just started it. I know it's going to be a shit show. He ripped up Last Night on Earth 1. I'm like, this is one of the best comics I've ever read, and you ripped it up. I don't know what's going on with your boy Zach. He rates positively these SJW books. I mean, God, he gave the Zoe... I'll never understand. He gave the Zoe Quinn book a positive review, and he rips up Last Night on Earth. It's like, do you even want... This is what I'm talking about. Do people even want good comics? They sit there and... Zach is one of the originals, and I like Zach a lot. Like, he's the inspiration that got me into comics. I'm not trying to pick on Zach or hate on Zach, but gosh, it's a bummer because... I don't understand. I don't understand where he's coming from. You want to love good comics. You talk about the industry sucking, and then when you get the good comics, you don't appreciate them. So what's the industry to do? Just some guy, one of the best YouTubers for picking out the bullshit in the comics industry. This guy is a real comic skater. He's from OG, and he makes these great videos that just pick apart the bullshit in the industry. And they're really entertaining. They're short and sweet. He gets to the point. He's not long-winded. And this one was something special. And I wish I could zoom in. Well, I can zoom in. What am I doing? I got digital zoom. But then I can't focus. Look at this. Am I a fascist? I mean, I don't feel like a fascist. I just want to use power to control people. This is a real frame of the book. And it's the subject of Ignited #3, the utterly fascist comic book that doesn't understand. It's the most self-unaware comic you'll ever understand. You don't want to read it? That's great. You just watch some guy's video. Thinking Critical is my source for all the comics industry news and commentary. He's really hit a niche there, I believe, of what his strengths are as a channel. And he gives you the news. He gives you his commentary on it. He's very even-keeled. When he hates on something, he makes sure to try to be objective and see all points and not just, his own. And I really appreciate his videos. And this is a really good one, Death of Spider-Man and Liefeld Exits Youngblood. This will get your blood boiling about what's happening to Rob Liefeld right now. And you're just going to be like, what the F? I don't often watch Collider anymore, but they had an interview with Todd McFarlane and Rob Liefeld, and you just never see that. So in the middle of watching that was pretty good. Comics by Perch is a guy I watch a lot. He has so many videos, it's hard to keep up. But this one I thought was an interesting topic. There's a way how DC can win. So I thought that's worth something. This guy, Fourth Age, is a guy I watch a lot. His videos are all comic related, but he's not really a comic channel. He uses comics as a way of expressing his point, which he's trying to talk about heroism and heroes and what they mean, what's important, and culture, the current culture war, and how they're destroying the modern day heroes and things like that. And it's a very philosophical channel, and he but he illustrates great points and gives you a really strong understanding of why this shit is going on from a philosophical level. And this one is great because I've been on a rant about this current issue in today's comics, where the villains are made into heroes and heroes are villainized. So this is a great topic. Yellow Flash kind of liked Last Night on Earth. I was surprised. He kind of hates everything. He's another one of those that's just like, rants and raves about the shit in the comic book industry, and then when you get gold, you don't appreciate it. But at least he did say this is a pretty good book, and he's going to continue. So that's really all the videos I wanted to highlight. These are worth checking out, I believe, if you like the same content I do. Let's go ahead and now unbox this burger because Breen is salivating at the mouth right now. 18 minutes in. I haven't even looked at my burger. Oh, it's not smiling. The lettuce is supposed to prop the burger open. Not that good. It's going to taste great, though. I'm going to go ahead and eat this before it gets any colder, and I'll be back with the rest of my comic pull. All right, we're back. And the iPad's missing. You know what that means? It's time for the pull list. And look, no spoilers this time. See, I got the free postcards from the comic book shop, and I put them over, and now you can't see. Aren't I clever? Oh, shut up, Ash. Show the goods. All right. Look at this. Show your receipts. Always show your receipts. Always show your receipts. SJWs who don't buy comics assume that you don't buy comics. Somehow, the people who don't buy comics think that no one buys comics, but that somehow comics still get sold and they think the industry is good. I don't understand their logic, but this is my receipts. Way higher than I want. I'm trying to get to $25. I'm not succeeding. You're going to see why this week. So, starting off with the independents. So this was actually on a previous week's poll, but I didn't take it home. I talked about it in my video, Usagi Yojimbo number 2. It was damaged. Like the whole shipment came in damaged. And so they had to contact Diamond. I had to wait 2 weeks. So there's the actual copy. But it added to this week's cost, right? $3.99 is added. Still getting this. My comic book store talked me into buying Fallen World. And I was like, if you can get me the pre-order editions, I'll get this book. Because I am interested in Rai. I don't like miniseries. I do want to like Valiant. But since the time that I started getting this book and committed to it, in that short time, Valiant has absolutely just crapped the entire bed, shown their hand, revealed that... Dog... Yep, they always got to get in the picture, always. Revealed that they don't have an interest in making good comics. Zero interest in making good comics. They are up the social agenda, and they are, putting out these new books that are just whatever. You know what I'm talking about. So Fallen World is actually entertaining. I'm enjoying it. People like Wes from Thinking Critical, who are big fans of Rye, have told me like, "Oh, Ash, this is not the good Rye story. Like, it's not." And I was like, "Well, okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, I know who Rye is. I never really read his stuff. And I believe him. I think Wes has got some good taste in comics. But having not read that, I feel like this is not a bad book. It may not be true to the character, and it may not be nearly as good as, what it's his favorite book of all time. So obviously that's a huge bar, but that doesn't really invalidate this book to me. It's not a great book. It's like 3 stars. It's fine. It's adequate. Birthright. Joshua Williamson, the guy who writes Flash over at DC that no one seems to care about, even though it's one of the best books. He's just quietly writing this fantasy epic that is amazing. So Image Comics, Skybound Entertainment. By the way, when you're looking at Image Comics, look for this little, I don't know if you can see it, the little Skybound. And also look for to make sure it doesn't say John Layman, right? Because John Layman, for whatever reason, John Layman's over there. He's a douche. Stay away from him. But everything else that Skybound seems to do, it's Robert Kirkman's imprint at Image, seems to be great. The Robert Kirkman books, I buy 2 of them. I buy Oblivion Song, which is fantastic sci-fi, and then Die Die Die, which is this really fun, dark black humor book, and it's just over the top, and it's weird, and it's just fun. It's got a good story. But then when I got into Birthright, I didn't even notice until later. I was like, oh, this is Skybound as well. So they're doing good stuff, and they don't jack the user up. So I'll cover Birthright more in the future. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, number 4. I've reviewed a couple of these issues. I think the first 3. So I don't know if I'm going to keep talking about this book. I can only do so many videos on books. But this, if you like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and you like Batman, this is a book for you. This is a book that does it right. Look at this. It's the Joker / Shredder crossed over. It's called I think it's Mr. Smiley or just Smiley. And it's rad. It seems goofy. I normally don't go for these mashups, but James Tynion IV, whose name I mentioned a lot, has created this story concept where it was like, what if Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Batman were both created in the same universe? How would they be? Would they still be exactly the way they are? What would be different about them? And he creates this world where it makes sense that Batman and Turtles are together. They're slightly different because of this fact. And it's neat. They're close enough to where it's like, if you're a fan, you're gonna like, I like who they are, but they're different enough to be like, at least for me, to be like, oh, cool, like this rings true. It doesn't just seem like some contrived BS of like, oh, the turtles show up in Gotham, oh yay, and like they all exist. Their history, they have a history together, and it's just cool. And Joker, it's just this alternate take, and it's neat. Speaking about alternate takes of Batman, that's not neat. Here we go. Look at this. I got the battle damaged title. Oh, such stupid gimmicks. Oh, look, it's Bane. He's gonna break Batman's back. We've never seen Batman in peril like this before. Oh, hold on to your seats. Gosh, maybe in Tom King's Batman, it'll break Batman's back, and Batman will run around in a wheelchair and mope all the time about how the good old days when he could walk, and we'll have like 50 more issues of Batman just, no, I'm crippled. Oh, I can't call myself a cripple. That's offensive to people. I am physically challenged. Oh. I buy this because it's Batman. I can't stop buying the book. Like I should. I really should. Don't be like me. Don't do what I do. Do what I say, not what I do. Speaking of what I say and do, Justice League. Oh, look, another battle damaged cover. Aren't you so excited? Scott Snyder and James Tynion doing some great stuff. Yeah, I'm actually really behind on my Justice Leagues. I got to catch up, but I'm loving what they're doing. Here's the book. Now we're into Marvel. This is the book that Bats got me into. He donated 3 digital copies to the channel, which I read and reviewed as promised. And he got me sucked into the book. I was like, holy shit, these are really freaking good. And as soon as he did that, he pulled out. Sorry for this, smack the table, no warning. He pulled out. He's like, all right, see ya, sucker. I'm not buying Marvel Comics. You're on your own. And I was like, what the F? What? How dare you? How dare you? Now I'm addicted to Daredevil and I'm buying the books. So, yeah. Mark Cicchetto comes back after this series. I'm looking forward to it. I hate when they switch off artists. It's more Marvel because we're out of DC. Look at this. There's only 3 DCs if you count the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover. Otherwise, it's just 2 DCs, and I've now got 2 Marvels. What kind of? I promise you, I'm the real Ash. I promise you that Ash is not in the basement chained up. This is real Ash buying Marvel Comics. Look. House. Sorry for the glare. I like this little book stand, so I just changed the angle here. No glare now. See how that works? It's the science. I loves the science. This is House of X number 2. I've done a review on this and Powers of 10 number 1 both, and you can go see them on my channel. They're not bad, but they're not all that. I'm buying these out of hope. Really, I am. I'm buying these off the reputation of so many people freaking out. Jonathan Hickman is the greatest. Jonathan Hickman. Oh my God, the second coming of Christ. Jonathan Hickman. It's okay. I'm going to respect other people's opinions. I'm going to give it a chance. It's got to be something special if everyone's telling me how good it is and how good Hickman is. I seem to remember falling into this trap with Bendis and wasting over $100 buying Superman books that ultimately got revealed to be trash. Now my eyes, I was red-pilled to Bendis, going back to what we were talking about. So I'm going to try. I spent money on this. I want to like it. I'm not hate buying it. X-Men is my bag. No one wants X-Men to be better, to be good than me. Not even Doc. Sorry, Doc. Finally, last but certainly not least, holy crap, I can barely lift this book. Absolute carnage. I'm not sure what number that is because they made it so small. One thing they didn't make small. Focus. Yeah. One thing that's not small is that price. Look at that, $7.99. It's a thick book. It's thick. Is it thicker than Last Night on Earth? Nope. Is it stapled? Yup. Is it cheaper paper? Yup. But it's $2 more. The only reason I got this is because it was selling out at the store when I got there today, and I'm like, oh, this is another one of those under-ordered books. I really like Donny Cates. I really want to follow. It's only 4 issue. I believe this is only 4 issues. Maybe 5. Only the first issue is this stupid price. And I was like, So I begrudgingly asked if they had any more copies because they didn't have any of this copy on the shelf. But my comic book store is pretty cool. I'm like, do you have any A covers of this? They went in the back and they found one. What they do sometimes is they'll pull it out of other people's pull lists. That I guess that don't care what cover they get. So I was like, all right. But there's none on the shelf. Just the alternate covers, which I don't want. And then I was like, yeah, it's too late now. I made him do the work. I didn't want to be like, no, never mind. Take the book back. So, yeah, Marvel, you suckered me into a $7.99 purchase. This is the best writer and best artist you got. here's your chance to win me over. This is your chance, Marvel. I'm giving you one chance. Well, technically, I'm giving you 3. Daredevil has already kind of proven itself. Hickman and yeah, we'll see. Anyways, this is my pull list. What do you think is the best? I'm trying to get them all to balance on my little book rack thing here. Usagi Yojimbo, maybe? Birthright? Daredevil? Who knows? Justice League is really good. These are all good books. The only book I have any qualm about here is probably the Tom King Batman. Maybe this. We'll see. Hickman, I think Hickman's building to something. So I'll talk more about this when I actually talk about the book. What's the worst? Batman, maybe Fallen World. I can't believe Donny Cates is going to write the worst. But will it live up to a $7.99 price tag? That's the question. Will the dogs ever stop drinking on camera? Who knows? Hey, guys. Thanks for watching. This has been another Ash Wednesday. Tell me down in the comments below what works for you on the video, what doesn't work for you on the video, what you like to see, what you don't like to see. Is it too long, too short? You don't care. What comics are you reading? What comics should I be reading? Do you have questions about any of the comics that I show every week here? Let's talk about comics. Let's not be a bunch of black pills, right? Let's try to have enthusiasm. Let's try to sift through all the mess. There's over 500 comics that come out every month, right? They're not all trash. I know because I have Forky and he's an expert on trash. And he approves of these books. Well, except maybe this one. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. It does help the channel. Just costs you one click. Like that. That's all the effort you have to do. And then come join us on Discord. We talk about comics down there without all the Twitter nonsense. Or maybe you're not a person who's even on Twitter because you avoid it. Well, here's a place we can all talk. Sometimes we do live chats there. Last week, I actually held a live stream using Discord. So that was a first. Anyways, I'm going to blab on forever and ever. So I'm going to give the hopeful Stan Lee pick. There we go. That's a good idea, right? Stan picks the best. Forky picks the trash. And we'll see. All right. Thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.